Okay, so welcome to 2015 question 6 higher level. So the curve ABC is a portion of an ellipse, okay, with a semi-minor diameter semi-minor axis CD. The figure shows the location of the axis and the focal points. So there's the minor axis, and here's the focal points. All right. Now, F1 and F2 were given. So F1, F2. The line BE is a normal to the ellipse. So B is a point in the ellipse. Now we have no minor radius nor major radius given to us on the sheet. We're not given the actual dimensions. Alright. Now normally what we would do is we draw our major and minor circle and we divide it up into 60-30 and construct the ellipse. But as said, we don't have that. We just have a point in the ellipse and two focal points. Now there's a rule that F1 to any point in the curve plus that point back to the second focal point equals the length of the major diameter, the length of the major axis. So F1 to B plus B to F2 is equal to the major diameter. So if I just take that point F1, and let's just say I mark it up there, and I put in brackets V1 for the vertex, because it's going to total the length of it. So I can go F1 to B, so there's B, and then B to F2, so I can take that distance there, put it on the line up there, and then in brackets V2, and that will be the total length of the ellipse. So I'll just complete my major circle on the question, and I'll take the length there of this line, and I'll prove it to you that they're equal together. So we're going to use that theory there, okay, to start complete the first part of the drawing. Right. So I'll set out my drawing. There's my minor axis there. F2 is 78 to the right, and F1 is 78 to the left, and point B is 55 to the left of the minor axis, and then it's up 38 from the base there of the scooter. Remember, it's 15 and 38 is 53. It's 53 up from the XY line. Okay, and this is the center point of the ellipse. Right. So we're going to apply that rule there, which is sketched on the sheet. Okay, so I'm going to join F1 to B to F2. So F1 to B, B to F2. I'm going to take my T-square. I'm going to draw just a line down along the bottom. Okay, I'm going to mark a dot there. I'm going to write over V1 and then in brackets to F1. Okay, so they're not, in theory, they're the same points, or they're not the same points F1 and V1. They're just getting the same position on this line. So I'm going to take F1 to B, and I'm going to mark it from here. Doesn't matter where you do that line. There's B. I'm going to take B to F2 and mark it on that line there. Alright, and I'm going to label that F2 and then V1 there. So that is the length of the major diameter. Now if I want to get half of that to be able to draw the major circle to get the radius, I take my compass, I'm going to swing an arc above and below. So mine will run off the page. Okay, but that doesn't matter. And you can join the crisscrosses together. So this is the major radius now. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to swing from the center point there, so I can draw in, that's the major circle. Now to find the minor, okay, you can one way of doing it, if you have the focal points, okay, is to take half the major, and swing from both of the focals to get the minor circle. That's one way of doing it, because F1 to any point in the curve, we'll call that C, and C to F2 is equal to V1 to V2. So if the center line is smack bang in the middle, F1 to C has to be equal to half the major diameter. So I'm going to take half the major diameter, and I'm going to swing from F2, I'm going to swing from F1, and where they intersect is a point in the ellipse. So I'm going to put my compass onto the center now, bring it up to there, I'm going to draw in my minor circle. Now I'm going to divide these into 60-30. It's only a quarter we need to do. Now, where the division lines hit the major circle, I'm going to go parallel to the minor towards the middle. So where the division lines hit the major circle, I'm going to go parallel to the minor towards the middle. Where the division lines hit the minor circle, I'm going to go parallel to the major axis away from the middle. So these are my points on the ellipse. I'm going to freehand sketch them in. Okay, so there's the ellipse, the portion of the ellipse there drawn in. Now line BE is normal to the ellipse, right? So what we need to do is join the focals together, or focals to point B rather. We take our compass and we bisect the angle. So we set our compass to any radius, swing two arcs from B until they hit both of the red lines. Then from the arc, swing our compass again without changing radius. And then there's the normal. You join the crisscross to B till it touches E there. So I'm going to do that. I've already joined B to F1. Okay, so I'm going to bisect though, and I've already joined B to F2. So I'm going to bisect the angle between those two red lines. So I take my compass, set it to any radius, and truth be told, the bigger the radius, the better. Okay, the more accurate it is. So set my compass to any radius, swing an arc, lift your compass, put your compass on the arcs where they intersected the arms of the angle. Now, where the crisscross joins what you call it to point B, we're going to extend it through. There's a heavy line there. Okay, now the line C to G is a tangent from circle to C. So line C to G is a tangent to this circle. This circle has a radius of 15, so the centre is up 15 from D. Okay, and how we're going to draw in the what you call a tangent is we're going to join C to the centre point. We're going to bisect the line with our compass. Okay, we're going to draw in a semicircle from here, and where the semicircle pierces the circle, that's our point of contact. So I'm going to go up 15 from point CP, the centre point. So I'm going to go up 15 from CP. I'm going to draw in my circle. Probably didn't need to bring that line so far across there. Not probably, I didn't. Okay, it's less likely, or it's more likely to confuse you if you leave it in. You don't. If you did do it, you don't have to rub it out. Okay, now we're going to draw in the circle. Okay, lightly. Now we're going to bisect the distance from here to there. So the distance between C number 10. I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to set it to any radius, swing an arc, left and right. I'm going to do it from C then, swing an arc. I'm going to join the crisscrosses. So that's the bisecting point. I'm going to take my compass now, and I'm going to bring the nib to C. I'm going to draw in the semicircle. Okay, there they intersect, and then you can heavy that in. There, that's the point of contact there. Okay, and then you can complete the circle. So you can. Now, use an old sheet there. I've done with a different group. Right, the parabola. Okay, HJK. So here are points H, J, and K. Alright, so on the diagram here, H is over 30 from point D, which is the centre, so over 30. So that's H. Okay, J is up 40 and across 20. So that's point J. And then, oh sorry, this is point K down here. That's point H up there. Right, now, to draw the parabola, we have to use the rectangle method. So because this is 40 and this is 20, we have to divide. I'll rephrase that. For the rectangle method, you have to divide each side into equal parts, okay? Because this is 40 and this is 20, 4 will divide into both numbers evenly. So I can mark every 10 up this way, draw the lines across, mark every 5 down here at the bottom, and join to J. And where the first one touches the first one is a point, second one touches the second one, third one touches the third one, and I can mirror them across then. So we're just going to draw it in now using the rectangle method. So I might just outline this in light or in blue. It will be with a thick enough pencil, so colouring pencil. So I'll use my own pencil now a second to make it more accurate. Right, I'm going to divide the bottom line up into 4 equal parts, so every 5. I'm going to join that to J. Okay, and now I'm going to divide this section here. Now remember, K is 15 up from the XY line, and it's 30 across from the centre point of the ellipse, or point D. Now I'm going to mark up every 10. And these points are across. Okay, and then you can mirror them across if you want. Another way of doing it, which is really the handiest, is mark every 10 going upwards, lines across. line up here. We're the first, so marking in the points, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so where 1 touches number 1 is the point, 2 touches number 2, careful not to mix it up with the centre line, 3 touches 3, okay, and then look, you can bring number 3 up to the first line above the centre, number 2 up to the second line above the centre, and number 3 up to the third line above the centre. Then we're going to freehand sketch them in. So it's always easiest to untape the sheet here, so it is, or move the desk around. Okay, it is the easiest way to do it. There, I obviously didn't move mine there. Now, that's the curve HJK, done. I'll have it in a moment. And now it's essentially about doing in the rest of the details here, like, okay, the handlebars, okay, and the wheels. So the wheels are radius 20, okay, so they're 20 up from the XY line. Here's one point here out 70, okay, the center point is out 70 from D, okay, and remember the center point of the circle is up 20 from the XY line, and this one here is right underneath B, and it's 20 up from the XY line. So I'm going to mark them in. So my 20 up. Very easy to make a mistake now here, so it is. So that's the center point there. Now I'll double check it to make sure it's 70 from the center line, but it is easy to make a mistake there. And then it's radius 15 for the inner one, okay, the inner rim of the wheel, and radius 20 for the outer one. Right. So you have to show all constructions. So the light lines that you see, okay, drawn on sheet, like in there, you kind of want to be drawing them in as well. Okay, and then over here, the radius 15. Okay, and this one here, alright, is certainly a little bit more awkward to draw, right, as how are we going to figure this out? Right, well, we know one point, okay, the guard is radius 25, okay, on the guard, so it's radius 25, so we're going to add an extra 25 millimeters to our circle to draw the mud guard in. So lightly, and it starts up 30, okay, the heavy bit starts up 30, so I can heavy this around until it hits the base of the ellipse, okay, and then we can connect these together. Now we have to do this detail here. The center point is from J, okay, and this, what you call it, H here, right? We know this line is 60 degrees, all right, so that line is 60 degrees from the top of the mud guard. So I'm going to draw a 60 degree line from the top of the mud guard. I'm going to highlight that in red there. Now I have to go over 20 from H, so over 20 from point H means this curve is, so this point is exactly, it's just straight over there from H. Oh, sorry, one sec there, it's going to pause. Sorry, what I meant to say is you put your compass on J for the handlebars, alright, and you bring the nib to H and draw the arc around, because look, there it is, it's J to H is the radius, alright, so that's the arc there. You drop down, or this distance is 10, so you bring this distance down, this across, so that line is there. Now the, what you call it, red line, okay, we can heavy in until it pierces the arc, so this line represented by the red, we can heavy that in until it pierces the arc. And now we can heavy everything in, so I'm going to heavy everything in and then show you the finished solution. So there you go, after just heavy that in with pen there. So there's the finished question. So this is of the scooter. Right, cheers, thank you, bye bye. Don't forget to like and share, please.